In lesson 2, we're going to look at some constructions and how you make patterns. This video will be super short. We're just going to look at 2 questions. The first one here has this diagram, and then the second one is you're asked to make this figure that's shown and then write out precise directions on how you would do that. And then we're going to skip a couple down here and just look at the summary. So, in this first question it says here are 2 circles with centers A and B. Here's A and B. And in fact, if you click on the expand image, you can make this bigger and take a look at the figure a little bit closer. But the question is, based on this diagram, how do you know that each of these statements is true? And there are 4 statements that follow. So let's take a look at them. The first statement says the length of segment EA is equal to the length of segment EB. So if we take a look at this segment EA, that's that segment right there. Notice that that is a radius for circle A, and EB, that is a radius for circle B. Also notice that this line connecting the 2 is a radius for both. That means that circle A and circle B have the same radius, which means that the circle, that this line here has to be the same as this line here. Now when you do that, when you explain that in your own words, you'll have to figure out the best way to explain it for you. The next statement says triangle ABF is equilateral. ABF. ABF is equilateral. Equilateral means all the sides are the same, so what you're supposed to explain is how you know that this side AB is the same as this side BF is the same as this side AF. So when you answer that question, I'm going to let you answer that on your own. The third statement says AB is 1/3 of CD. AB, this segment here, is 1/3 of CD, this whole thing. Again, it has to do with the radius of the circles, this segment AC, this segment AB, and this segment BD, all being the same, so the middle segment is 1/3 of the whole thing. And then the last statement says CB equals DA. CB equals DA. So without me doing the whole thing for you, just notice that CB is 2 radii for that circle or a diameter, and DA is the same 2 radii or a diameter. So this first question really is just you explaining how you know those 4 statements are true just by looking at the picture and knowing what you know about circles and radius and segments. Okay, the next part of this is asking you to build a pattern. And by pattern I mean using circles and line segments, and then as you're making that pattern, you're going to explain what you're doing using precise language. So here's what that might look like. You could start by putting point A on your paper. So this first step, you would list the directions like this. Make a point. Label it A. Okay, those are precise directions with a label. Then you can say make point B. And again, you list out the directions. Then you can say connect A and B, or make segment AB. Then you can say draw a circle with the center of A and a radius of AB. Then you could say make another point on the circle and label it C. Then you could say make a circle with a radius AC. That would be this. Then you could say make another point D on the circle, and so on. So the whole point is that not just that you're making a design, but that you're able to list out each of the steps precisely using labels and terms like segment and circle and radius that are mathematical. So again, this question is just asking you to construct a figure and list the directions so that when you're all done, if you only had the directions, could someone else reproduce your drawing just by following your directions? Okay, so at the bottom, in the summary section, it shows you an example. It says we can use straight edge and compass moves to construct interesting patterns. What if someone else wants to make the same pattern? We need to communicate how to reproduce these patterns precisely. For example, if you look at the left-hand directions, this is a set of directions, but it doesn't have precise language. It's not very specific. The right-hand set of directions gives you precise directions. Okay. That's it for this video.